Very good morning, students. Hope you all are fine and good. So the topic that we are going to see is the continuation of chapter 14, that is elements of marketing. Under that, marketing and marketing mix. Okay. So I think we just went with this lesson the last video. So we saw the introduction of marketing. Then we just went with the evolution of marketing. What is marketing concept? Yes. And then we went with the definition, importance, objective, we completed. So the next topic that we are going to see today is functions of marketing. Okay students, let's start the class now. Some of the most important functions of marketing are as follows. Okay, so what are the functions that we are going to see here is, first one, see, the delivery of goods and services from the producers to their ultimate consumers or users includes many different activities. These different activities are known as marketing functions. Different scholars have described different functions of marketing as under. What is this? When I buy one product, okay, actually that product from where it is actually produced, it is getting produced by one producer. From there it is sold to a consumer, correct? So between that, like what and all the activities are involved, like the production is there and the real consumption is there. So between this, what and all activities which is going to go in between, which is going to take place in between of this process, is called as the marketing. That is what we are going to see here as a marketing function. Okay, so let's see the definition of marketing function has been described in different ways, okay, according to different authors. So let's see few others here. Yes, G.B. Gills describes 7 functions of marketing. According to G.B. Gills, he defined the marketing function into, he just made it as a segment, like within 7 types he has made it. See, marketing research, marketing planning, product development, advertisement and sales promotions, then selling and distribution, after sales services, and public relations. Students, all these topics, when you just go into detailed depth, it will be so interesting. You believe me, okay, trust me, if you just check with this video continuously, you will be able to understand about the concept. It will be very interesting. Okay, like how we see in our day-to-day life, every day, what do we see? By that, how they what strategy they use to sell a product, that is actually marketing. Okay, see here, another classification of marketing functions is given by Professors Clark and Clark, which is widely accepted by one and all. Functions of marketing are classified into 3 types. According to Clark and Clark, he has divided the marketing functions into 3 types. The first one that we have is the functions of exchange, next one is functions of physical supply, and third one is facilitating functions. So now let's go detail with this particular definition. So here in your book you have the explanation on Clark and Clark. Now we are going to see that. Okay, the first one, see, functions of exchange. On functions of exchange, exchange refers to transfer of goods and services for money's worth. This process can be divided into buying and assembling, and the next one is selling. Is that clear? See, when you just, what is actually marketing? I am a producer, okay, I produce one product. What is my goal? I must sell that product to the consumer, and I must sell it at a maximum affordable rate which I can sell it, and I must be able to get more profit. That is what my strategy as an entrepreneur. Is that correct? So what is the strategy which I am going to involve in this? When I am selling the product, what kind of strategy I am going to do, or what kind of things I am going to do to make this product available for the consumers? Okay, that is called as the how I am going to sell it. Okay, that is what is marketing function. So that is actually categorized into 3 types, and we are seeing the first type that we saw. Okay, that is functions of exchange. It is nothing, the same meaning only. When you exchange your product, the goods and services, when you just do it for a money worth, then it is called as the exchange. Okay, so this process is actually divided into 2 types. The first one that we have is a buying and assembling. Buying and assembling is nothing but you buy all the products. Say for example a bicycle, you buy all the spare particles, all the spare parts you will buy, okay, and then you will assemble that particles, that the tools you will just assemble into a cycle. So that is actually buying and assembling. This is what will happen for a bike or scooter or for any other electronic products, okay. Then selling. Buying and assembling you do. After buying and assembling, what do? Your motive is to sell for a higher value, isn't it? So that you will do. That is the first one. What is that? The functions of exchange is nothing but you exchange the goods for the services, and you do it for a profit, okay, and that you will do it for a money's worth. That is what. And then this is actually divided into two types. First one is buying and assembling, and the second one is selling. Clear, students? See, the next one we have is functions of physical supply. There are two important functions under this classification. The first one that we have is the transportation and storage and warehousing. What is actually transportation now? So when you just produce a product, that is not enough, right? So you must make the product to get transported from one place to the other. Yes, for that we need a vehicle. So that is actually a transportation. You would have already learnt in your 11th standard about the hindrance of place, isn't it? So I think you know much about transportation now. So storage and warehouse. So these two are also there. In hindrance of time, you would have learnt about warehouse, I believe. So storage is nothing but, see, when you just transport a good, I already told you, see, when you are making a product, the raw materials, very few raw materials will be available at only some particular places, okay. So when that is made, so even the natural resources, it will be affordable for them and it will be easy accessible for them to produce the goods. But it will not be the right place it may be the right place for the production, but it will not be the right place for selling, okay. So for that reason, what they will do is they will transport the goods from there to the other place. So here what happens, when the goods are getting transported, they need transportation, and after getting transported, maybe the product is produced in a town, and it must be sold at cities, okay. So here what you will do, once the goods are getting transported from one place to the other, they will just place the product in the storage. So when the time when you just need for the supply, you will just make it available for the closest sellers. So that is what is the functions of supply that we have here. See, transport means carrying of goods, materials and men from one place to the another. It plays an important role in the marketing. So it creates place utility by moving the goods from the place where they are available in plenty and to the place where they are needed. Various types of transports are used for carrying goods, like land transport, water transport and air transport. Okay, so I think it's very simple. Yeah, so innovation, representation, decision making and communication are the subsidiary functions of management. So now under this category we have different functions, subsidiary functions we have in transport. That is innovation. Innovation means creating new ideas. Representation, representing the product. Taking decisions, then communication are a few subsidiary functions that we'll learn in detail, okay. See, storage and warehousing. What is storage? Storage is another function of marketing process that it involves the holding and preservation of the goods from the time they are produced to the time they are consumed. So what is that? So preserving the product, we need a place to preserve the product, yeah. So when we produce it in a town, we need a place to preserve the product. That is called as storage, okay. So generally there is a time gap between the production and the consumption of goods, and therefore there is a need for storing so as to make the goods available to the consumers and when they are required. So when the goods are required for the consumers, it must be available for them. What is warehousing? Warehousing creates time utility by storing the goods throughout the year and releasing. What is that? Releasing. It means, releasing them as and when they are needed. So what is this? So whenever you are in a need of a product, that goods are produced and it is even affordable to the people. That is what is warehouse. Several types of warehouses are used for storage of goods. So what are the different several types that we have? The first one is private warehouse. Yeah. Next one is public warehouse and the bonded warehouse. Students, I think that you would have already learnt about all this in your 11th standard, so you are much familiar with the terms, I believe. So I'm not going to go with the explanation in detail. Okay, so private means it is a private warehouse, it is handled by the private people. Public means it is a government warehouse. Bonded warehouse means it will be in a complete bonded thing. Okay, so where it will be piled up, it will be completely piled up, so that is bonded warehouse. Let's see the facilitating function. We already saw few types, isn't it? Innovation and all, that was like a subsidiary function. Let's see here what are the facilitating functions here. So few other facilitating functions are also, that is subsidiary function, this is facilitating function. Okay, so for warehousing, what and all facilitating functions we have? They are the functions which helps or facilitate in the transfer of goods and services from the producer to the consumer. They are not directly connected with the transfer of goods. Under this category, the following functions are included. What are the following functions? Financing, risk bearing, market information, standard, grading, branding, packaging, pricing. Students, you will learn more about branding, packaging, pricing in this class itself. Okay, so it will be in your future lessons, don't worry, we'll be learning in depth about it. Okay, so facilitating functions. Financing means what? See, the same topic again, this also you would have learnt in 11th standard about different types of finance. Yeah, so you would have learnt about long term, short term, medium term finance and all. Short term means it will be like within some particular very short period of time. Okay, so see here, the definitions are, explanations are given here for the short term. Okay, so the short term finance, we have three types of finance. So you don't have explanation for this the financing, you don't have the types of financing explanation, but short term means it only handles a very short period of time. Medium term finance means it is only for one particular duration, very less duration, not more than that, and within 20 years of time. And long term means it will be more than 20 years of time. Okay, see, so we have the next one, that is the risk bearing. Risk bearing is so under risk bearing you have different categories. Okay, so time risk you have place risk, competition risk you have, risk of change in demand you have, risk arising from natural calamities you have, human risk, and political risk is there. Time risk means when you take a risk based on the time, so that is time risk. Based on the place, that is place risk. Competition risk means based on the competition, you will have much more competitions, right, in the market, so based on that you have a risk. Risk of change in demand, so when any recession comes, what will happen? The change of demand will happen. The mind of the people, they don't have much money to buy things, isn't it? At that time, the risk of change in demand will be there. The risk arising from natural calamities, what is that? So when there is any risk because of flood or rainfall or a heavy rainfall or something like that, then that is risk. Okay, that is a natural calamities risk. Flood, earthquake, all that is the risk for natural calamities. Then human risk, it means which happens because of humans. If someone is going to do some mistake. Okay. Political risk, some political pressure you are going to get for your business, and where it is going to be a risk for you, that is a political risk. Market information. What is market information? According to Clark and Clark, market information means all the facts, estimates, opinions and other information used in marketing of a product, of a goods. It means what? See, when you are going to make, for example, you are an entrepreneur. Okay, imagine you are an entrepreneur. You are trying to manufacture a soap. Okay, so many demands are there in the market for soaps. Yes, we itself have a dilemma. When you go to a shop, a shopping mall, we just have a confusion like which one we must purchase. Yes, like same way. So according to the market information, according to the market demand, the current demand that we have, based on the comparison of different soaps, you must give some unique specialty on your product. So only then what will happen? Your sales will get increased. Yes, and people will also recognize your product. That is actually market information. You must get a proper information on the marketing strategy, on market condition. That is market information. Okay, standardization. Standardization means establishment of certain standards based on intrinsic qualities of a commodity. So when you are you are selling some commodity, say for example diamond, okay. So when you sell a diamond, if you just check, what will happen is, based on the size of the and shape of the diamond, okay, the cost will differ. You understand? Diamond is same only, but when you make it a perfect perfect cut, the cost will be much more. It is very minute work and it is done by very less technicians. So here what happens, that is actually it has been more attractive because of the cut. It is more attractive. You understand? That is actually standardization. You must create a standardization for your product. See, I use Bata product, for example. I use Khadam product, for example. I am satisfied with the product because it has a standard name. That is called a standardization. You understand? So the quality may be determined on the basis of various factors like size, color, taste, appearance, etc. So the size of the product, the color of the product, the taste of the product, appearance of the product, all that matters a lot. One of the best example we can say is for consumable goods. If you see, we can say is best is Amul. Butter we have in Amul, we have cheese we have, yes. So that is actually standardized. There is a standardized product. There is a taste, curd we have, yeah. So that ice creams we have. So all that is a it has got a standardized name in the mind of the consumers. That is why it stands for a long time. Okay. Grading. What is grading? Grading means classifications of standardized product into certain well-defined classes. Grading. What is grading? Grading is what? Grading means it is a classification of a different standard products. Say you are buying a cashew nut in a shop, okay. So for 5 rupees if you get a cashew nut, and for for example you buy a cashew nut and you are asking for a much more quantity, the quality of the cashew nut will be much lesser when you compare to the for example you buy one cashew nut for say 50 rupees, okay, and that you look for a quantity now, okay. You are buying more quantity of cashew nut for 20 rupees, but the same cashew nut at a good quality you get it at a very less quantity. You understand? Price is same but the quantity is different. That is actually standardization. They standardize the good according to their classification. Maybe the good is a high graded good. The quantity which you buy very less will be a high standard product. That is the grading. It will be a grade 1. You understand? It will be for exporting, exporting, okay. And the quality which is very less, that will be like for the local people, which they will sell it for a very less cost. Yeah, from it will be the extraction from the excretes. So that is called as the grading. What is branding? Branding means giving a name or a symbol to a product in order to differentiate it from a competitive product. See, when you buy, for example, you buy one biscuit packet, there is a name for the biscuit packet, yeah. So you like bonbon, or you like say some other biscuit or milk bikkies, or somewhat like some cookies which is very specific, or maybe Good Day, okay. So that according to the product brand you love it, so that is the name you have. The brand name is there. You don't go with the taste, but you go with the prefer of the brand. Say you are wearing a cosmetic, or when you buy a cosmetic, or when you just wear a garment. Say boys usually when they just buy a product, what they will look for? They will look for a brand. If it is a shirt, a branded shirt, what you will do? You will show the name of the t-shirt and all, you will show outside and you will go, yeah. So that is actually branding. The product will, if for example you buy one t-shirt for 500 in a brand, for a local brand you get the same t-shirt for 100 rupees also, but the brand name will not be there. For that reason you pay extra 400 and you buy the same t-shirt. You understand? So brand name is much identified. See, that is what. Packaging means how you package a product, okay. So if you just see the Wonder Cake and all, no, there will be so much levels of packaging, okay. So you buy a Wonder cake, for example, if you see in that inside that outer layer, it will be like a plastic cover. Inside that you will have one plastic tray like. So within that you will have the cakes placed. Okay, so that is the packaging. So when you make a product, that how the product must be delivered to the consumer, that should be properly done. If you don't pack a product in a proper way, then it won't reach the consumers in a proper manner. You understand? For example, you make a chocolate, maybe a Cadbury or something. So you just pack it, you package it in a proper way so the consumer likes it. If you don't do it in a proper way, will they get interested to buy it? No. Yeah, that is packaging. See, goods are packed in a packages or containers in order to protect them against breakages, leakage, spoilage and damage of any kind. If you just see the cooking products and all, no, if it is opened, what will happen? Very quickly it will get destroyed. Yeah, because of the leakages or because of the breakage, it gets affected very quickly and it gets spoiled off. Yeah, so that is actually packaging. If you don't package your product properly, then the good will go for a waste. So that is very important. Otherwise it will last for a very long time. Okay, pricing. What is pricing? Pricing is perhaps the most important decision taken by the businessman. It is a decision upon which the success or failure of enterprise depends to a large extent. Therefore, price must be determined only after taking all the relevant factors into consideration. What is pricing? Example, you buy a biscuit packet for 10 rupees and the same biscuit packet they are going to sell it at the next week for 15 rupees. Will you be able to buy that product? Will you accept to buy the product first of all? No, right? You buy the product since the price is also affordable and the quality is also good. That is why you buy that product. You stick to the product. But slowly when they increase the price of the product, automatically it will change the mind of the consumers, where they will have so many different options in the market, where they will look for the best one to go off. Yeah, so the price determines more. So when you make a product, it is not so easy, but you must compare with the current market situation and you must fix a proper price for the product. If you don't do it in a proper way, it might even go for a failure in your business. Yeah, so that is one of the big marketing skill only. Yeah, the next one that we have is the meaning and definition of marketing mix. Students, this topic is also very much interesting. Okay, marketing mix. So when you complete this topic, you will know what is marketing mix. Okay, and what is the when you in case if you want to become an entrepreneur in future, like what are the strategies that you can evolve and how you can develop your product. So that is what it will teach you by the end of this video. Okay, marketing mix refers to two things. What is that? The first one, a list of important elements or ingredients that make up the marketing programs and the list of forces having bearing on marketing operations. So first one, if you just see, it will make you to list like what are the important elements. When you just make a product, okay, what and all you must do. That is the first one. Okay, before producing a product, what and all you must do, what and all cautions you must take, and what and all the steps that you must follow. That is the first one. Next one, so what and all like what kind of laws you must implicit, and like what are the the laws that prevails in the economy that must be followed. Okay, so based on the marketing operation, for example, you sell a product based on the market criteria, like how it is being sold, that you must have an idea. So these are the two things that we must think when you just have it in a mind for a marketing mix. Definition of marketing mix you have here. Please read it, students. Okay. See, elements of marketing of a mix. What is elements? Channel, inventory, distribution, logistics. That is place, price, product, promotion. When you just take the topic called marketing mix, four things will come to our mind. It is called as a 4 P's in marketing. Okay, 4 P's in marketing is very important question. So please understand this and then you start learning. Okay, so when you just understand, it will be more easier for you. 4 P's are nothing but, okay, price. First one is product. You remember like this, a product. First one, what do? You will make a product. Then what you will do? You will fix a price. then what you will do? Yeah, you will try to sell the promotion, you will try to make the promotions, and then you will make where the products must be available for the people. So 4 P's are there: product, price, place and promotion. Okay, these are the 4 P's in marketing mix. So let's see this now in detail. First one, let us discuss these 4 elements of marketing mix in detail. First one, product. Product is the main element of marketing. Without a product, there can be no marketing. A product is anything that can be offered to a market for attention, acquisition, use or consumption that might satisfy a want or a need. That is the explanation, that is a meaning of a product is given here. Okay, according to Philip Kotler, define product means you must write this definition. Okay, so this is actually a definition it is. Okay, product means, see, like if you just want to buy a product, you need money. Yes, you want to buy a product in the market. For that, what do you need? You need money. To give money, then only you will get a product. Yes, like same way, if you want to market, no, first of all, for marketing the product, what do you need? You need the product first, then only you can market itself. Yeah, first you must produce the product. That is the first one. Okay, see, price. Price is the value of a product expressed in monetary terms. Okay, it is a amount charged for the product. According to Philip Kotler, there is a definition for price also. Okay, this is a definition according to Philip Kotler. A definition is given for a product also, for a price also. So these two are definitions. Okay, so if you want to fix a value for a product, then that is called as a price. That is what it is expressed in the terms of monetary. Okay, so that is actually price. Factors affecting price of a product or services. So when you just go for a product or a price, okay, what are the factors that gets affected? Let's see that now. Internal factors, we have 5 types, that is marketing objective, marketing mix strategy, organizational considerations, cost, organization objectives. These are the 5 factors. First one is marketing objective, marketing mix strategy, organizational consideration, cost, organization objective. Okay, external factors mean these all will happen within the organization. Okay, within the product, when you just see these all determines the product of the factors that affect the price of a product within the organization, that is internal factors. So when you see this, these are the points. When you just go outside, that means when you sell a product, when you fix a price, what are the external problem that you will face? The market and demand, that is the first one. Competition, customers, suppliers, legal factors, regulatory facts. So these are the we have around 6 factors, external factors. Third one is place. Physical distribution. What is physical distribution? An excellent quality product with a competitive price structure backed up by efficient promotional activities will be a waste if it is not moved from the place of production to the place of consumption at an appropriate time. So an excellent quality product, when a product is given at a good quality, what happens is, when there is a good competition and when there is a proper price structure, so backed up by the efficient promotional activities, when it is done by the good promotional activities, will be a waste. It will be like a complete waste if you don't make a proper product, and if there is no proper price, and if there is no proper promotional activity, when there is no marketing, proper promotional activities taking place, then it will be a complete waste. Okay, if it is not moved from the place of production to the place of consumption at an appropriate time. So even though if all the 3, that is you price a good product, you just fix a good price for a product, you just make a good quality product, you just make a proper promotional activity, and all this is done properly, and when you don't make the product to get delivered at the right time, so that will be completely waste. Okay, that is what this point. So the 4th element of product mix, namely place or a physical distribution, facilitates the movement of product from the place of the manufacturer to the place of the consumption at the right time. So it is not that whatever strategy if you taken and whatever strategies if you involve, and if you make the product produce, then also that product should be on the right time to the consumer. If it is not done properly, then it is a utter waste. Your product is completely utter waste. What is promotion? The last P that we are going to see here is promotion. In marketing mix, the last P that we have is promotion. So an excellent product with competitive price cannot achieve a desired success and acceptance in market unless and until its special feature, okay, so see, an excellent product with a competitive price cannot achieve a desired result, success and acceptance in market unless and until its special features and benefits are conveyed effectively to the potential consumers. So when a product is made excellently, when it is done excellent and with a good price, okay, it cannot get a proper success, okay, and it cannot be accepted also in the market in a proper way. So unless when it is properly promoted. So these all are like, what to say, so these all must be there for sure. All these 4 P's should be followed properly in a product. So if you don't follow this, all the 4 P's, even though if you just make a product, if you make it on a time, or if you just make the product available for the consumers on the right time, if the promotion is not made properly, then it is actually utter waste. That is what they're trying to convey here. Okay, marketing mix matrix, you see here, see, product, price, place and promotion. That is actually a traditional marketing mix. You have the picture here. So the last topic that we are going to see in this lesson, see, modern marketing mix is like this: people, process, program, performance. That is this is actually a modern, but for years and years we are learning this strategy only. This only we have this is actually a very important question. This 4 P's only you will be asking. The traditional method only you get it for your exam repeatedly. Okay, these 4 are the modern techniques that has been found out. That is people, process, program, performance. So these all 4. See, principles of the 4P matrix is that marketing decisions usually falls into 4 controllable categories such as product, place, price and promotion. Carefully positioning the product is each category will generate a better response from the target market. What is this actually? So when you just implement all the 4 matrices, that is all the 4 P's in your business, in your product, automatically you will get a good demand for your product and you will be able to sell your product successfully and you will earn more profit also. Okay, so you must be very careful in making these products according to the categories, and it will actually generate a better response for your the wide market, whatever the market which you see. Every businessman will look for a wider market target only. Okay, so if you want to get success or if you want to earn more profit, then for sure your product, you must follow this 4 strategies in marketing mix. Okay, then you'll be able to do your business successfully. Okay, so by this lesson gets over. I believe this chapter would have got interesting for you all. Yeah, so students, as usual, please read your textbook and please read the lessons line by line. Okay, so until if you don't understand the concept, any of the concepts, you can just come back to me for your live session. Okay, so hope that you all are safe and fine. Okay, do well for your exams. Okay, thank you students.